Hello guys, welcome back. Welcome in another session in which we'll be talking about today chapter 3 of class 11th, which is motion in a straight line. But before that, let me remind you that what we are studying, why we are studying, and how we are going to study this. This is very important. This is our theme. This is our My Dream theme that I will explain to you each and every topic of every chapter by considering these three factors. Factors are what, why, and how. So for answering what, I will say that we will going to study motion in a straight line. But here comes the important part. Why we are going to study that and how we are going to study that. Why we are going to study that, in support of that, I will say like everything around you is moving, isn't it? Car, you guys, and like an apple has fallen from a tree, that is also in a motion. Everything around you is a motion. Earth moving around the sun is a motion. Clock moving is also a motion, isn't it? You are going to school is a motion, or lift going up and down is a motion. Aeroplane moving is an motion. Train moving, bus moving, all are motion, isn't it? Light, movement of light, which is although very fast, which is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Like in 1 second, light will travel up to 3 lakh kilometer. 3 lakh kilometer. Okay, isn't it huge? Okay. Yeah. So let's move forward. Yeah. So why we are going to study that? Because everything around you will see that everything is motion. Right now I am in motion. So to understand the physics behind that, and to understand the bigger picture of motion, like suppose some of you guys will enter into the field of research field. Okay, what you will do? Some of you guys will be fascinated about astrophysics, in which you will see the movement of rocket into the space, movement of Earth toward the sun, galaxies movement, all this kind of stuff. How you get to know this? How you get to know deep into the subject? How you came to know, like, okay, when rocket will go, what should be its motion, what should be its speed, what should be its direction and all, which speed should it will project so that it will reach its destination? How you will came to know all this stuff? By knowing the motion first, isn't it? If you have the basic covered, then obviously you can do very good in research. Okay, you can do very well in life. Like, okay, I'm considering motion about, but everything is like, if you want to pursue your study in case of physics, then everything you have to study. We are having in 11, 12, we are having basic of everything. Okay, so basic must be covered. So today I'm going to talk about motion. So everything around you is moving, although you are also moving. So to understand the physics behind that, and if you look at the bigger picture, that if you want to be something like some guys want to be astrophysicists, what they will do? They have to understand the motion. If you have been, suppose after 10 years or 15 years, you guys have the responsibility to launch a rocket into the space, to launch a satellite into the space. What you will do? To launch a satellite into the space, it's a very big thing. So you must have your basic covered first. What are basic? Basic is motion, and in motion you will have a speed, velocity, direction, displacement, distance, isn't it? All this stuff. So to answer all this stuff, that's why we are going to study this. Okay. So I rest my case, in which I said it to you guys that why we are going to study about motion and how we are going to study about motion. We are going to study about motion by having simple real life example. That is my philosophy from day one, that I will make you understand each and every concept of the physics by giving you real life example, isn't it? And real life example means, like, suppose this is my tree, there is an apple, here is Newton. This apple has fallen down from tree to the earth. So what is it? Newton saw this. But what is actually this? Is motion. That is a very good real life example, isn't it? Movement of the plane, movement of the train, movement of myself. What is that? It is motion only. So we are going to study motion by giving you real life examples. Okay, by giving you real life examples. And why I have already answered, what I have already answered, we are going to study motion in a straight line. And why? I already answered that. If you want to go deep into the subject and if you want to understand everything, because everything around you is moving, like wind is moving, clouds are moving. So to understand all this stuff, see guys, physics comes everywhere. This movement of the cloud, this movement of the wind, there is motion only. There is a force balance only. That why wind flows? Why wind flows? Because there is a pressure difference between sea and earth. There is a pressure difference between sea and earth. That's why wind flows. Okay, but to understand that how wind flows, you have to consider, you have to have knowledge of motion. Okay, so everything is connected to physics. At the very basic level, I'm telling you guys, everything is physics. Everything. Okay, so to answer a very basic question, that why air flows, why wind blows, why wind blows? How you will answer that? Okay, yeah, I will answer why, but in case of how, to answer that, how wind blows, you have to understand motion first. Then force, then you will be able to answer that how wind flows. But yeah, why wind flows? Because we haven't studied about motion and forces. So I will answer now that why wind flows. Wind flows because there is a pressure difference between the earth and the sea. If you will suppose standing at the top of the sea, then there is a pressure difference between continent and sea, and hence due to this pressure different wind blows. Okay, so that is my answer for why. But in case of how, yeah, in case of how, you need to have a knowledge of motion, forces, and all this stuff so that you can answer that how wind flows. Okay, there is totally physics behind this, and this is very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Atmospheric science, we call that subject, in which all this kind of stuff comes. But yeah, at the very basic stage, it is physics only. Okay, so let's move forward, guys. Let's move forward. So today we are going to study about motion in a straight line. Okay, motion in a straight line. Yeah, and we can also call this as motion in one dimension. Motion in one dimension. Up to your knowledge, we will have three dimensions, isn't it, guys? X, Y, and Z, isn't it? We have three dimensions. So, motion in one dimension, either X, either Y, or either Z, is we are going to discuss in this chapter, because we have already made a headline that it is a chapter in which motion in a straight line. Okay? Like movement in a circle. This is an example of motion in two dimensions, because let's say this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis, and hence two coordinates are changing. Here we are having different coordinates, here we are having different, here we are having different, here we are having different. Okay, so two coordinates are changing at each and every position, and hence this is an example of motion in two dimension. So this is a very good example of motion in two dimension. Two dimension. Okay, so we are not going to discuss all this stuff in this chapter. Okay, because we have made a headline that this is a chapter which is totally based on motion in a straight line, and a straight line means motion in one dimension. Either you are allowed to move like this, either this, or either this. Okay, so motion in a straight line, or like that, or like that, or like that. Okay, guys. So motion in a straight line means that you have to move in a particular line only. Okay, you can't go in a circle, you can't go in elliptical region and all. So today we are going to discuss about motion in a straight line. And remember, guys, motion in a straight line, there is another name for this, which is rectilinear motion. And translation motion. All these are same thing. Rectilinear motion and translation motion, both are same things. Both these words meaning that you are moving in a straight line. Okay, so guys, now I will ask you something and you have to answer me like, is this my motion in a straight line? Okay, we need to first specify motion first, like what is motion? Okay, let's do this. Let's first define what is motion. Okay guys, let me know what is motion. What is motion? So motion is something if a particle or object continuously changes its position with respect to time then that guy will be in a motion, that object or particle will be in a motion. If not, then it will not be in a motion. Okay, so any object or particle that will continuously change its position with respect to time, we call that particle will be in a motion. And if a particle is not changing its position with respect to time, then obviously we will call that the particle is not in a motion. So guys, let me know, am I in motion right now? Am I in motion? If yes, then how? Because I am continuously changing my position with respect to time. 2 seconds earlier I am at that point, 1 second earlier I am at that point, right now I am at that point. Okay, so I am continuously changing my position with respect to time, and hence you can say, you have all the right to say that I am in motion. Okay, if you are sitting on your bench and you are watching my video, then you guys are in motion? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why? Because you guys are not changing your position with respect to time. But suppose you are having earphone in your hand and you are watching my video by doing some work, like by going, you are going to kitchen, you are going to in your living room, you are coming to your room, then obviously you will be also in motion. Okay, because you guys are continuously changing your position with the time, and hence you guys are in motion. So let me note this down, that what is motion? So what is motion? If a particle or object continuously changes its position with respect to time, then we call as that particle is in motion. Particle or object is in motion. Okay, so this is my basic definition of motion, that if a particle or object continuously changes position with respect to time, we call that particle or object to be in motion. Okay, now here let's come. Okay, now I will ask you different examples. Okay, and you have to let me know, like, is this an example of motion in a straight line, or are these an example of some different types of motion? Okay, so I don't want to actually rub all this kind of stuff. Okay, so I have to rub it. Yeah, so let's move forward. Okay guys, now if I will ask you, movement of a clock. Football ball. And let's say pendulum. And let's say, so this is my one, this is my second, this is my third, let's say fourth. Yeah, a guy moving in a straight line. Okay, so let me know guys, which one is an example of motion in a straight line? Which one is example of motion in one dimension? Let's see. Is this movement of the clock? Is my example of motion in one dimension? No, absolutely not, because clock is moving like that. At one point it is like in this direction, at another point it is in this direction, and at another point it is in this direction, and at this point it is in this direction. So this movement of the clock is absolutely changing its position at every second. Okay, and hence we will say that this will not be an example of motion in a straight line, because this guy, clock hand or middle hand or second hand, is absolutely changing his position at every second or every minute, and hence I can say, like, this is not the example of motion in one dimension. Let's talk about football. So guys, if you will hit a football, okay, it will go like spinning, it will go round from one point to another. Okay, will that be an example of straight line, motion in straight line? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, let's consider this pendulum example. Suppose pendulum is moving like that. Is this my example for motion in straight line? Absolutely no. Absolutely not. Because it is continuously changing its position. See at what point it is here, and it is like that, it is like that, and then like that. Okay, first it will go like that. After it will come to its original position, then it will move like that only. Isn't it? So this will not be an example of motion in one dimension. This will not be an example of motion in one dimension. This is also not an example of motion in one dimension. Now, what about this guy? This guy is moving in a straight line. Okay. This guy is moving in a straight line. Suppose you are going from A to place B. Okay. Suppose you are going from home to school. Home to school. And your school is in the line of road. The road is pretty straight. Like road is very much straight. From here to here 1 kilometer. And you are moving from home to school. Okay. So, are you moving in a straight line? Yes, absolutely guys. You are moving in a straight line. So, this is a very good example of motion in a straight line. Isn't it? So, this is an example of motion in a straight line. Yeah. So, this is an example of motion in a straight line. Okay. So, it must be very clear to you guys up to now that what is motion. Okay. What is motion in a straight line? Okay. But see guys, motion in a straight line means we are considering only motion in one dimension. You will have then, let's say, projectile motion and all, in which you will have examples of motion in two dimension. Okay, because in that case our two coordinates will change, and there is also a possibility like, yeah, rotation is also an example of two dimension. Okay, so motion in a straight line means that you sorry, you have to move in a straight line, completely straight line. That we called as motion in a straight line. Okay, and up to now I guess it must be very clear to you that what is motion, actually what is motion, and what is motion in one dimension, and what are the examples of motion in one dimension. Okay, so now we will discuss about few more basic things like what is physical quantity. Okay, and then we'll talk about some terms like you must be familiar to them, like distance, displacement, velocity, speed, average velocity, average distance. Okay, average speed. Okay, we will talk about this kind of stuff. Okay, then we will see some of derivations. Okay, but before that, let me ask you like yeah, so yeah, motion definition is clear to you, motion examples are clear to you. Now, yeah, let me ask you, what is a physical quantity? What is a physical quantity? Do you have any idea, guys? Because we are just starting this course of 11, so you must be very clear to you that what is scalar, what is vector, what are physical quantities, what are the laws of vector addition, what are the laws of vector multiplication. You guys must be knowing that. Then only you can proceed for physics. Okay, so it's quite worthy to spend some time in explaining to you guys about more basic things. Okay, so I'm starting with by asking you that what are physical quantities. Okay, I will answer this. Any quantity that can be measured is a physical quantity. Like length can be measured, is a physical quantity. Mass can be measured, is a physical quantity. Okay, so any quantity that can be measured is a physical quantity. Okay, guys. And now, if suppose I will ask you, okay, is this marker is a physical quantity? No, absolutely not. But yeah, length of that marker is a physical quantity, because length we can measure. So any quantity, anything you can measure is a physical quantity. Okay, is it clear to you? Like volume of this marker, mass of this marker, length of this marker, all these quantities are physical quantities. It must be very clear to you now. Now let me know, guys, what are units? What are physical units? So we will be using MK system of unit or SI system of unit. Okay. So in case of MK system of unit, we will be measuring mass in kilogram, time in second, and distance is in kilometer. That is my MKS unit system. See guys, you must be familiar with all this stuff. Okay, because I'm not considering it that you guys must be knowing all this stuff. there might be chances that you guys didn't know about all this stuff. Okay, so to be on the safe side, we will be consider all this stuff again. Okay, so yeah, we'll be using MKS system. We have already covered physical quantity. Okay, and what are the units? What is unit? Why we need unit? Okay, answer me this. Why we need unit system? That we have to measure mass in kilogram and distance in kilometer and time in second. Why we have to do that? Okay, say guys, if someone sitting in France, okay, your friend is in France, okay, and you ask him that what is the temperature at your place, and he will say like 30 unit. Okay, I haven't specified degree Celsius or Celsius and Kelvin, and you will say the temperature in India right now is 20 unit. Okay, but if you didn't know about the unit, how can you compare? But if suppose your friend say that temperature in France at his place is like 30 degrees Celsius, and temperature in India you will say it is 20 degrees Celsius, then obviously France day is warmer than India. You can easily compare. Suppose some of your friend is in USA and you ask them that Reynolds pen in your hand is like 15 centimeter in length. Okay, 15 unit in length. And the guy in USA say that Reynolds pen in his hand is 10 unit in length. Can you able to compare that? Absolutely not. You don't know that in which unit your friend is answering. So it must be very clear to you that if he says that it is 10 centimeter, then you can easily compare. Okay, pan in India is 1.5 times larger than the pan in USA. Okay, why is it important? See guys, why scientists took that decision to identify unit system? Because they choose, scientists took a decision, okay, to avoid confusion, let's make a unit system in which any guys in the world will be measuring all this stuff in this unit system. Okay, so that it is easy to understand for everyone. Okay, that's why scientific community took this decision. Okay, let's consider this thing. We will be measuring all these kind of stuff in one unit. We will be measuring mass in kilogram. We will be measuring distance in kilometer and time in second. Okay, everyone in the world will have to follow that. Okay, so that it will avoid any sort of confusion we will be having. Okay, now if I will ask you that mass of your friend in France, he will say 50. Okay, but as I mentioned that he has to measure that mass in kilogram. So it is very easy to, if you will say that your mass is 100 kg, then obviously you are twice heavier than that guy, obviously, isn't it? So that's why this unit system helps us in understanding the things clearly, okay, so that we can compare anything around the world, okay, to avoid basically confusion. Is it clear to you guys? So that's why we need this kind of unit system and all. So I guess this introduction of this motion chapter is very clear to you, isn't it? That what is motion, what are the different examples of motion, what do you mean by motion in a straight line? Okay, we'll be discussing motion in 2 dimension and 3 dimension bit later. But in this chapter, we will stuck ourselves to only motion in 1 dimensions. Okay, we will consider only motion in 1 dimension. So next class onwards, I'll be discussing about distance, displacement, and all this stuff. So you guys must be familiar to all this kind of stuff, and then we'll move forward. Okay. So this is it, guys. This is it for this class. I am hoping that you find that lecture very interesting, and I'm telling you guys, it's going to be fun. Okay, it's going to be fun. We will see how to do that. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is it for this class. I'll be meeting you next time. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.